Chapter 2 of our audiobook is about transition back to the office during the lockdown. The last few months, we have seen a lot of changes, due to the COVID. And with that, it has brought in a lot of challenges. There's economic challenges, there's employee well-being issues that organizations have been dealing with. And most of organizations have really geared themselves up, prepared themselves to deal with employees and clients. And now there have been systems, protocols, procedures that organizations have put in place. Now we're at a stage where organizations are now also using vaccinations, in the organization. So we advance in that process. But it's so important to realize that individuals are still struggling, teams are still struggling, because there's certain things that have changed since the last time we've been, all of us, in the workplace. So there's 5 things that really have changed a lot that we need to be mindful of, and also prepare ourselves as individuals as we're going back to the workplace. The first thing is that a lot of things have changed, in the organization, and it will continue to change like that. And the second thing is that there's business priorities that have also changed, and then there's also expectations that have changed, and then also people are reacting differently to the different changes. But the main thing is that people need to remain focused. So let's start with some of the changes. We have seen, the way we live, the way we do things, the way we interact, everywhere things have changed, So when you go back to the workplace, you'll realize that the things that you used to do, meeting for a cup of coffee, you realize that certain things have changed, and that cup of coffee is no longer the same. So people are not comfortable, to be standing next to each other. And also because of the COVID, people are much more mindful. So it's important for us to realize that the office that we left a few months ago is different from the one that we're going to go through today. So familiarize yourself with all the changes and adhere to the relevant protocols within the organization as well. And it's also important for you to raise your concerns, comments, because the organizations have really opened up and given employees an opportunity to come up with solutions to the challenges that they are facing. The second thing is that their business priorities have changed. Some of the projects that you were busy with, they are no longer relevant. So you need to be ready to step into something different. The next few months, years will be a steep learning curve for everyone. So if you're finding yourself that you have to be moved to another department, go to learn new things, accept that. Don't feel that, I need to go back to what I'm used to, because some of the roles, they're actually being redundant. So as long as you have something that you can focus on and look at it from a positive perspective, that you are learning something new, you're improving yourself. And the next thing is that the expectations as well have changed since the last time. Some of the things that the demands that were placed on you and things that the organizations were expecting for you to deliver on your role, they've also changed. So now you need to seek clarity. You need to talk to your superiors, talk to your managers, engage them so that you can reach an agreement on what is expected of you. Because at times we start working and you actually don't have a clarity in terms of what is expected of you. And later on, when it's time for performance management, you realize that you actually haven't achieved. But it's because there was nothing that was put in place at first, that you were working towards. So it's very important to clarify those expectations. And then the other thing is that the people are reacting differently, and it causes unnecessary struggles with people, because now you realizing some people are struggling with the situation. Some people are actually finding it easy to cope with the changes. So it's important for us to realize what are some of the people struggling with, and then how can we help them, in that situation. And we are aware that most organizations, they have resources, where they've got counseling, they've got coaching, where people can have that. But there's also individuals who may be listening and saying, I don't have that kind of service. where I'm at. Some are working for themselves. They may not afford those kind of services. So it's important for them to know that the support is there out there. So we offer the coaching, the counseling that will help you as an individual. But back in the workplace, you need to be kind to yourself. You need to raise your concern. You need to get assistance if you need one. So don't sit there and feeling that you are struggling, you're not coping and not saying anything. So the best thing you can do for yourself is to mention to someone, mention to your manager, mention to your superior that you need the support, and it will be brought forward, to help you with that. And then the last thing is that there's a need to stay focused. When there's a lot of things happening around us, we tend to lose focus. But it's important for us to stay focused on our jobs and help other people. Some of the people that we work with may be struggling on certain things. For example, now with the use of technology, there's still some people who are still struggling with the use of technology. So if you find yourself that you are good at technology, offer yourself to help other people so that it will ease the burden from everyone, and take the necessary precautions as well. We know we're still in the pandemic. Take the necessary precautions so that you protect yourself and people around you. So at the end of the day is that when you feel that you're still struggling with the changes, don't keep quiet, talk to someone. And then also remember that asking for help is not a sign of weakness. It's actually a sign of strength, because you're realizing where you are at and then you're raising your hand up. So back in the workplace, things will be different, but remember, you are up to the challenge. Thank you. We'll see you later. Bye.